Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of the EAACI podcast. I am Maria Torres, President of EAACI, and I am delighted to have you join us today. We are here at the FUN Europa 2024 meeting in Athens, Greece, where we are celebrating the launch of the first ever Anaphylaxis Awareness Day. This initiative is a significant step forward in raising global awareness about anaphylaxis, a life-threatening allergic reactions. Yesterday's launch was met with incredible engagement, sparking crucial discussions about the challenges faced by those living with severe allergies and the actions we can take to improve their lives. Today we are continuing that momentum with a very special episode. Joining us are two extraordinary guests, Tanya Ednan-Laperouse and Nadim Ednan-Laperouse, founders of the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation. Their inspiring work has transformed allergy advocacy and legislation, and we are honored to have them here to share their story. Also with me is Professor Mosanji, our Secretary General. Together, we will explore how the launch of Anaphylaxis Awareness Day is driving meaningful change and how we can continue to make a difference globally. Tanya and Nadim, your work has inspired so many people. You founded the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation in memory of your daughter Natasha, after her tragic passing due to anaphylaxis. Could you share Natasha's story with our listeners and tell us how it led you to create the foundation?
Well, our daughter Natasha, she tragically died aged 15 from food allergy to sesame seeds. Now she'd been food allergic to a number of foods from a young age that we found out about 6 months old, initially to banana. And as young parents, as we were 20-something years ago, this was a real shock. We had no idea what allergy was, never heard of the word, etc. And when we took her to the doctors immediately in hospital, that she was having anaphylaxis, we then began a journey of discovering that our daughter was allergic to a number of foods. And that simply meant for us as a family having to avoid those foods in her life, in our life, and being very, very careful with everything we did around food, which was very, very difficult, but we did the best we could.
Yes, really keeping her safe was our priority, but it was also really important for us to make sure that she was getting the right nutrition and reaching her milestones. But we were too scared to give her any foods, really any known allergens, for instance, until she was tested. That didn't happen until she was 2 years old to find out what else she might be allergic to. And so, her diet was very, very, very simple, but it was safe. And interestingly, as she grew up, food was very important in our lives. It was central in the sense that we gave her really lovely, delicious food without her allergens. But she felt safe at home. It was the only place she could eat at home and enjoy food at home. If she ate at school, or there was a packed lunch, or anywhere else, even though I prepared it, it just didn't feel as safe for her. So having really good quality, tasty food at home was really important.
Your story is both heartbreaking and incredibly inspiring. Through your work, you've achieved groundbreaking progress, including the introduction of Natasha's Law. For those unfamiliar, can you explain Natasha's Law and its impact on food allergy safety?
So following Natasha's inquest, the coroner was very clear that Natasha had picked up a baguette sandwich that was pre-packed and it had a food label on it, but it was only partially labelled with the ingredients, and it omitted the sesame seeds that she was allergic to. Had they been on that food label, a known allergen, she would never have eaten that baguette. And what was clear was the loophole was being used by big businesses that was intended for small food businesses such as delicatessens and cafes, where a person ordering food can have a direct conversation with the person that's making it for them or has made it for them and then put it into packaging. And that this of course isn't possible when it's done in a chain where they make hundreds of thousands of sandwiches every day and pre-pack them for sale. So we started campaigning for Natasha's Law, and the government put out a public consultation to the general public saying, would you like to see Natasha's Law as partial ingredients, allergens only, or would you like it full ingredients with all the allergens involved? And 88% of the public said, we want to know exactly what's in our food, all ingredients and allergens involved. It matters to the allergic community, but it also matters to wider community now, that people want to know what is in the food that they're eating. And so Natasha's Law was passed through Parliament in 2019 and it became mandatory in 2021.
Tanya and Nadim's stories highlights the urgency of raising awareness about anaphylaxis. From a medical perspective, anaphylaxis is not only life-threatening, but also often misunderstood, even by healthcare providers. One major challenge is the variability in how anaphylaxis presents. Symptoms can range from mild skin reactions to sudden cardiac arrest. This makes diagnosis complex, especially in cases where the trigger isn't immediately obvious. Another critical issue is the lack of preparedness among the general public. Many people don't carry an adrenaline auto-injector or delay using it due to fear or uncertainty. Education is vital to addressing this. That's where Anaphylaxis Awareness Day comes in. By spreading awareness, we can teach people to recognize symptoms quickly and act decisively, potentially saving lives.
Tanya and Nadim, your foundation supports research and advocacy to improve the lives of those with severe allergies. What projects or initiatives are you most excited about right now? How can organizations like EAACI support your work?
I think one of the things that the charity Natasha's Foundation is funding is the oral immunotherapy clinical trial currently in the United Kingdom across 9 big university hospitals. And this is to desensitize young people between the ages of 2 and 23 years old for their allergies to peanut proteins or cow's milk proteins. And why it's so exciting, I think, is it doesn't actually use pharma, but uses shop-bought foods as the source of the medicine, if you like. And this trial started a couple of years ago and will conclude in another year and a half. And we are hoping that this big data set of information will show, we hope, that oral immunotherapy is a brilliant and low-cost way, using shop-bought foods, of treating hundreds of thousands of people for their food allergies. And we hope this will be openly sourced information to the whole world to benefit. And we hope EAACI can play a part in disseminating that information and really also encouraging discussion and talk amongst academics about it.
Tanya and Nadim, your advocacy work has had a profound impact, from raising awareness to influencing legislation, like Natasha's Law. Beyond legal changes, what do you see as the next big challenge or opportunity in improving the lives of people living with severe allergies? How can the global community contribute to these efforts?
I think for me, coming here and listening to everyone speak, I think it's about everybody coming together, and everybody coming together and deciding on the same messages and the same delivery, and really not looking at each individual country and what they do differently, but how we can all do the same together, the best possible practice, the best possible protocols to keeping people safe. That's all about awareness, it's about education, but when you can actually get people, and not just people with allergies, but everyone in society, to really understand that this is a serious, or can be a serious, medical condition, and how people need to be kept safe. I mean, they will do everything they can to look after their own health, but we need people outside of that helping them do that. And it's a long time in coming. There's still that idea that an allergy is an itch or a sneeze or a scratch, and it can be so much more than that. And it's not funny, it's not a joke, it's to be taken seriously. So that children with allergies particularly food allergies, are not ashamed of being allergic. They are happy to speak out. You know, until Natasha's inquest, many people told us they didn't have a voice. Nobody really believed them. They didn't feel that they were being heard. And suddenly, following her inquest, everyone was talking about food allergies. But that was a wonderful thing, because suddenly they could start talking about how difficult their lives were and what help they felt they needed to stay safe.
Before we wrap up, Tanya and Nadim, what message would you like to share with families affected by severe allergies and with the broader public about the importance of raising awareness for anaphylaxis?
Well, we would like to say, as a mother and a father who lost a child to food-induced anaphylaxis, we know how that feels. It changes you as a human being completely. You are no longer the same as you were before. And that has given us, strangely enough, an ability to have a very strong sense of mission about changing the world so that it works better for families and children and young people, but actually adults as well now, who have food allergies. It's no longer good enough that it stays the way it is. Things need to be joined up, connected and working. And that's what our mission is in life, and also very much the mission of the charity, very much. And we are really happy to work and help influence or shape, if you will, in a collaborative way, not an antagonistic way, collaborative way with other organisations to push forward on this same sense of direction. I think the good news is that here we can all look at really good examples around the world. And I think if you look at business and companies, and you look at multinational companies, whether they're in the food industry or not, it shows that structures, organisations can be built and work really well and send the same messaging out and delivery around the world with their products and services. There's no reason why that cannot apply to everything to do with allergy, by connecting everything together and drive solutions forward in a way that have never been seen before.
Thank you, Tanya and Nadim, for sharing your story, for your incredible work, and for being here with us at EAACI Farm Europa 2024 to mark the first EAACI Anaphylaxis Awareness Day. Your courage and dedication are an inspiration to all of us. Thank you for listening, and let's keep working together to save lives and create a safer world. Take care, and we will see you next time.